Hey everyone, welcome back. As you can see today, we're doing something totally different. We're looking at some pulp tarot cards, and these were produced in 2022. It was by Todd Alcott. It does come with a little tiny book, but you know, when you look inside it, it's got some decent sized paragraphs for information. I don't recall seeing a layout or a spread. No, I don't see that at all. But you can see some of the other identifying information there on the back. It's neat that it's the Unemployed Philosophers Guild out of Brooklyn, New York. So it is a nice deck. I have a few things that bother me about it. Now this one here, the box, it looks really great on the shelf. It looks like the old magazine covers, and that runs through it with whatever art he decides to bring to it. But the box, it doesn't stay shut. So if you want to stand it up on your shelf, you run the risk of the cards falling out. So that is what the back of the box looks like. And I do like the fact that it looks a little bit worn, like old comic books, old posters, things like that. So I think I was drawn to this deck because I started out as a commercial artist, and the images brought a lot of that back to me. He does say in the book that he loves Pamela Coleman Smith, and brought a lot of the ideas forward, just in a different format. So the first issue I had, as I say, was the box. I do like the back. The cardstock is good. And the back, you can see it spells out the pulp tarot, which is kind of nifty. The cards are bright, they're colorful, they're cheery. Let's zoom in and take a better look. Okay, so you can see the color is fabulous. We talked about the instruction book, but the other one thing I wanted to mention that I liked was the little booklet is plasticky. So I think that this is going to hold up better than the paper versions of this. It just seems a little more resilient. Now, we talked about the back. The card images I did say I liked. Some of the numbers and the position of where the numbers are do bother me. For instance, if you get into the numbered suits, you see a 7 there, but the 8 appears on the top. Sometimes it's in the middle. I would have, I guess, preferred a little more consistency in that, but I know he's trying to work around the image as well. So let's, as I say, take a little look. There's our Fool card. That reminds me of Houdini, and I think that's a fabulous magician card, especially with the elements floating. It's like he's really picked up the energy and it moves around him and he's right in it. The shadows are great. The drama of the color is great. Now you see there, you've got card number 1 here, but the 2 is over there. So, you know, you got to forgive a few things here and there. Each one of them has the word Major Arcana on it. Some of them, because of the colors, you really have to hunt to see the number. But I presume once you're working with the deck and in tune with the deck, you're just going to know that, for instance, that is the Empress. A little bit of King Arthur time look there. If you love comic books and the fronts of comic books, this would probably be interesting to you. The Lovers. So when you do see some of the symbols, it helps, like the snake, the apple, the extra woman there. Our Chariot. So instead of the two sphinxes, we have these two large dogs. Our Strength. Gorgeous little outfit. The Hermit. Very comic book looking. Fabulous. Justice. I do love the pants. I remember those pants with the lacing down the side. The Hanged Man. And the Death card. Temperance. It's a neat spin on it. Part man, part woman, all angel. Ominous looking tower. The Moon card, that's pretty darn nice. The Sun. The Living Dead, I guess, with Judgment. And the World. That's the one major that doesn't really do much for me. There's a little nod there to Pamela Coleman Smith with the image of the world. Okay, so now we're into the Wands. Just going to backtrack for a second. I want to see what he says about the World card in the book. Bear with for a second. Okay, you made it. It's the end of the line. Great job. You don't have to go home, but you can stay here. The design for the world adapted from a mid-century art show poster abruptly strays from the world of pulp and into the world of post-war mid-century design. Sleek, abstract, international. As the card symbolizes the act of completion, the design suggests a way out of the pulp world and essentially what comes next. It's the post-credit scene of the deck, a hint at what comes after spiritual enlightenment is achieved. Okay. So there are our wands. I get sort of a face here in the clouds with a smirk. R2. I think that one is fabulous. The 3. I'm not sure what is on her back there. Let's just take a wee peek. The adventurer of the Two of Wands has now set out on her journey and arrived at a threshold. She's no longer planning, she's out in the world. Either she has planned well or she will come to ruin. Oh, okay. She's removed her space helmet, which indicates that this new world is at least habitable. And the wind is at her back, but she's still a little curious about the next steps forward. All right, that explains that. R4. Five. That's a really good Six of Wands, especially for the era. The 7. I guess that's the first deck I've seen the 7 of Wands having 2 characters in it. It's kind of special. The 8. The 9. Now this one here, remember the change promised by the 8 of the Wands? It doesn't appear to have been a change for the good. The woman on the 9 of Wands has had her home invaded by an army. Okay, her family and support system is gone and she's all on her own, wounded and terrified. The important thing to remember is that she's built her barrier with her spiritual staffs, the things she's learned on her spiritual journey, and is armed with a final one. Armed and dangerous. There's our 10. Okay, so we're into our courts now. I like that figure. The Knight. I'm not sure if the car is called a Charger, but that came to mind when I looked at it. Queen. And our King. Different stance. We don't usually see the back of the King. And here we have our Cups, our Ace. Two. Very alluring 3 of Cups. 4. It's neat that you just see the hint of a figure here through the darkness by the window. 5. I like that 5. 6. Is that the Leave It to Beaver house? 7. 8. Really striking colors. 9. 10. 'Oh, and there is a fish in the cup. A knight without a horse. Our queen. It's neat with the stereo system there and all the records behind her, I think. And the king. Suave-looking king. All right, the swords. Different 4 of swords, but all the elements are there. one of the Knight Templars. That is nice scene. I hope you're able to pick up some of the luminosity there in that one. 7. She seems to be emptying the safe. 8. R9. I guess you could say that she's not just losing sleep, but she seems to be worried about someone here. The 10. Our page. Let's see what they say about the page. I'm just going to have to stop for a second. Sorry about the jostling there. Okay, so the Page of Swords represents the neophyte, in this case a newcomer to the world of ideas. She's young, enthusiastic, very sure of herself, and brimming with style, ready to take on the world. She's an eager student, ready to soak up knowledge and ideas, all in her stilettos. Nice sword. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't normally see this image. It's just this, so this is nice to include something else for our intuition to focus on. Our queen and our king. And finally, the pentacles. That almost has a 3D effect here in the foreground. I had to look a couple times. It seems to come forward, which is really neat. The 2. Strategizing with the 3 of Pentacles. A little bit of Dick Tracy going on. Now that is clever to have the scales on the hand there with the coins falling. Very nice card. The 8. Let's see what it says about that 8 of Pentacles. Okay, it's about learning a trade, developing a skill, and finding your place in the world. It seems odd that the journeyer in the path should go from destitution to great wealth to apprenticeship. But then second careers are almost a requirement in this economy. The journeyer has developed an artistic style and is sticking to it regardless of distractions life offers him. Will his hard work pay off? Stay tuned. The 9 of Pentacles. And those are all her awards, her Emmys there. The 10. I like how they made it into a piece of artwork on the wall. That is very clever. And we still have the older gentleman with the dogs. Okay, our page. The knight. The queen. And the king. Now, he does say, Todd, in his book, that these were collaged together. I like the format of the old magazines. I really love that with the posters and things. It bring back a lot of memories. And I haven't done too many spreads with it, but I really enjoy looking at it. But I think it would make some great spreads. And it is still available. I saw it on Amazon. I didn't get it too long ago. So I'm going to say, if it's something you're pursuing, the cardstock will be pleasing to you. And I think the images are quite striking. And there's enough elements in it to get the intuition ticking. So, have a great day. This has been Lori down in the Witch's Den.